What up, kings? What up, bosses? In this video, I want to talk about how to automate 95% of your roofing repair business workflow in just 5 hours using artificial intelligence. Now, before I jump into the exact workflow, I want to talk about the exact platform that I recommend you guys to be using in order to automate 95% of your workflow. We're now going through the AI revolution, guys. This means that if you started your business prior to, let's say, 2024 or even 2025, you are still running things the old school way. That means anybody that gets a hold of this technology, which is Claude CoWork, what I recommend, and starts this business is going to be more competitive in your industry. They're going to be more competitive than you. Now, Claude CoWork is an AI platform quite similar to, let's say, ChatGPT, but the only difference is it does way more than what ChatGPT does. So let me explain to you exactly how this works. Claude CoWork has this new feature that came out just a couple of months ago. It's really, really new. Think of Claude CoWork kind of like a skilled, trained specialist, one of your crew members, except it's an AI assistant. It's amazing. So let me tell you what this means for your business specifically. You can now write a professional estimate or an invoice the same exact way every single time, formatted the way you want it exactly, with the right language, and close that deal. You can also draft follow-up messages, because doing these follow-up messages with clients can be quite annoying. So you can follow up client requests using AI now. Now, with sales, that's a different story. I don't recommend you do that with sales. Sales, you might as well do sales on your own or get a professional salesperson to do all of that. Turn a job description into a polished proposal that attracts high-paying customers. Because you already know the economy is struggling right now, so you want to focus on high-paying customers. You can build reports, scheduling, payroll, accounting, the whole nine. So let me dive into this guide that I've created specifically for you so you can get started automating the back end, the admin work for your business. If you're running a roofing repair business, this guide is perfect for you. Let me tell you why. You can now, with Claude CoWork, automate up to 95% of all your back end admin work. This is all the annoying stuff, HR stuff, invoicing, all that annoying stuff that you had to hire a full-time employee, you can now automate for very little money, okay? Let me walk you through this guide that I've created specifically for you. And if you're interested in working with the best, you better schedule a call, okay? So most of the time, when you're dealing with people that are helping you set up these automations, they're going to give you confusing language filled with a lot of jargon. That's to confuse you because they think you're stupid and dumb because you're blue collar workers. So I've simplified this guide so that it's super easy, step by step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, straight to the money. Okay, let's talk about invoicing and contracts for a second. You guys might be familiar with DocuSign. DocuSign is a software where you can email a client a contract for them to sign off, and then Stripe is your payment processor. You can train an AI assistant to manage these two software on your behalf. So no manual work on your end. Let's talk about payroll. There are a bunch of payroll software in the marketplace. Gusto is an example that I'm using. So when you pair it up with your business checking, I'm just using an example here of Novobank, you can train an AI assistant to set up all your automations. This is onboarding new crew members. Maybe you hire somebody to do a job. You tell your AI assistant, this is my process. Can you do the onboarding process for this crew member? And it does everything. It communicates with the softwares and all this stuff. Amazing. Time tracking. You want to make sure your crew members have actually gone on site, done the job as intended, okay, as per contract, obviously. And you want to make sure that you're tracking the hours. All the stuff that you had to manually do, you can automate that now. You set it once and you forget it. And it does that every single time perfectly. No complaining, no errors. Well, you got to supervise it, obviously. So you're the supervisor of this AI agent, which doesn't take any time off, no paid time off, right? No leave, no sick days. It's like your 24-hour employee that doesn't complain. Next is your accounting. I hate accounting, by the way. Okay, QuickBooks is one of the software out there on the marketplace that does your bookkeeping, your P&L sheets, your reporting, even your taxes, guys. You can train Claude CoWork on how to do your taxes. You give it all the information, you feed it all the data, comes from QuickBooks, comes from your banking, all the receipts, because you want to track every single transaction. Most of the transactions nowadays are all digital anyway. So you can feed it all this information and tell it, hey, can you do my taxes this year? We're now in the AI revolution, guys. If you don't embrace this technology, your competition, if you're currently in business, if you're currently in the roofing business, your competition, if they find out about this, they're going to beat you in this game. Okay, so you better jump on this. Next is your CRM, how you manage your client relationships. Maybe you have a recurring job. For some of you guys that do commercial, deals, that you do commercial work, maybe you have some clients that expect professionalism. There's a bunch of CRMs on the marketplace like Service Titan or Jobber, right, which is a cheaper option. You can instruct your AI assistant to manage all these platforms for you. So you're not in these platforms manually doing all this stuff yourself. And I've added additional details here for you guys when you get this guide from me to tell you exactly how to automate 95% of your workload here. Okay, so I've included everything specifically to you. Now, what does this all cost? This is just an estimate. DocuSign, which is the software you're going to use for your contracts, will run you up to like 25 bucks. Stripe, your payment processor, charges you like 30 cents per transaction. Gusto, your payroll processing, about 46 bucks a month, then $6 per employee. If you got a crew of 10, you do the math. Connect Team for time tracking, that's about what, 29 bucks? That's not bad. For a crew up to 30. So if you got a small crew of 10, that's perfect. QuickBooks, I would say, it'll run you about 50 bucks. Go for the nice package, but the basic one still works for 35 bucks a month. Jobber, which is your CRM, it's about 50 bucks per month right there. Sortly, some of you have inventory. Your roofers, you have equipment, you have tools that you need to keep track of. So Sortly will help you manage all of that stuff. And it's quite annoying, right? All of these platforms, you had to hire people that knew how to use these platforms. Like QuickBooks, for example, you had to hire an accountant, even if it was like a freelance accountant or, a virtual assistant accountant, you still had to hire one, all right? So you can be out there doing your job. But now, because of AI, Claude CoWork, you don't need that anymore. You can instruct it to do everything just like an employee would, and then you just supervise it. You save yourself a lot of money. And of course, Claude CoWork is the AI automation tool that you're going to be using, the platform you're going to be using for all your automations. It's going to run you about, let's say, 30 bucks per month. So imagine, for under $300, you can automate up to 95% of your roofing repair business, guys. We are now in the AI revolution. If you don't jump on this right now, your competition is going to do this, is going to take this on and beat you. If you're not currently in the roofing business working on your own, 2026 is the perfect year to get started, because now you can be competitive with the existing businesses out there. Provided you already have your license and all this stuff, when you bring in all this automation, it means that you can be more competitive than your current employer. Maybe you're the best crew member, you're a hardworking guy, and you know how to do all the work. Why should you work for somebody else and get paid low wages when there's AI now to do all the back end work for you, while you're actually out there doing what you love? So if you're ready to work with the best, I'll put a link in the description of this video. I'm going to give you this guide. And then also I'm going to help you set up all these automations for you. So I'm going to hold your hand all the way to make sure that everything is set up correctly and you win in this new economy. Put a link in the description of this video. Schedule some time. Talk to you soon.